stands for the County Manager's Corner, featuring Rockingham County Manager Lance Metzler. Recently, our Rockingham County Board of Commissioners had a retreat and they went over some very important issues that you need to know about. So here's Lance Metzler to tell us what happened. And if you will start out, tell us about the focus areas that the county commissioners looked at.
So Mabel, every year we try to have a planning retreat to kind of gauge where our Board of Commissioners wants us to be with our budgetary actions. And so we met on the 22nd of January, bright and early in the morning, to talk about the direction of what the board wants. And they've got a vision, a mission, and strategic focus areas. So they kept the vision and the mission as they were, because they're a pretty strong vision and mission for the county. There are 7 focus areas: one, economic development; the other is organizational efficiency and effectiveness, public safety, citizen engagement, communication, county appearance / environmental enhancement, quality of life, and education. And so they wanted to keep those the same, but they did want to make a few modifications.
Okay. And it seems as if they talked quite a bit about broadband. Why is broadband so important?
Yeah, so that's under the focus areas. That's under the quality of life,
Mm-hmm.
and they are very keen and honed into expanding broadband throughout the county. And with this COVID, when the pandemic hit, it's helped us realize it even further of the demand of broadband. I think Commissioner Pearl put it very eloquently when he said it's kind of like the infrastructure right now, like water and sewer. You can live somewhere with a well, you can live somewhere with a septic tank, but if it doesn't have broadband, you can't have access. So it's kind of like a different infrastructure that's a necessity this day and time. And Rockingham County has a lot of different areas throughout it that does not have the broadband. People are now working from home, where they can work from home as long as they have broadband. They can learn from home. We've got students right now that are required to do online learning, and they don't have the ability, so they have to go to places that do have it. So it's important to our commissioners to make sure that we get broadband out to all those people that need broadband and that don't have broadband.
Now, the county department heads, some of them talked about their updates in regards to, as you just mentioned, water and sewer, building renovations, the broadband, revamping the county's website. You want to just elaborate a little bit on a couple of those?
Sure. So with the broadband we just mentioned earlier, the county has partnered up with Spectrum and provides, because Spectrum provides the critical needs on the data that we have. And so we partnered with them to, they applied for a great grant, actually 2 great grants, and they equal about $1.9 million. And this is to provide additional broadband throughout Rockingham County in various areas that crucially need broadband. The website is antiquated. I mean, I think it's been in place. The same design has been in place since I've been here. I've been here a little over 9 years. So they have been working on the website. It looks, in my opinion, after reviewing several websites across the state and the nation, I think ours will be a state-of-the-art website, because we have looked at the best ones out there and kind of mimic what they're doing, but to make it fit towards our needs. So it's going to be great, and we believe that it will be launched by the end of March. So we're very excited about that. Another one that they mentioned was eTrack-It. eTrack-It is going to be a huge benefit to those who utilize building inspections, environmental health, planning and zoning. Basically, we've been working on central permitting for a while, and this is a tool that a developer or a homeowner or whomever can go online. They can fill out their building permits, they can submit plans, they can make payments all online. So they don't have to leave their house or their place of business. They can actually do it instead of driving to Wentworth. They can do it online, which we're really excited about. And again, it's just another way. Our goal as a county we should be in a place where we're customer friendly. We provide what we can to the customers to make it easy to the citizens, to the developers, to whomever, to make it easy for them to do business with Rockingham County. And that's the goal that we've had, our commissioners have had, and that's the goal. This will just add to it of us making it a better functioning operations. And we did have to do, with this COVID pandemic that hit, we did have to put a delay on making modifications to our Daymark facility. And what that is where the old mental health building used to be. We're trying to co-locate every operation on county property. And we're going to convert that into space for youth services and child support. However, we've had to put that on hold because that is a testing site for COVID, as well as it is it will be in the future a place where one of our partners in COVID vaccination, they'll utilize that for filling in information and cooler access.
Wow, we have a lot on the table. And what about water and sewer?
Yes, there has been a significant investment in water and sewer. The infrastructure to serve the southwestern corner of the county is where we're getting a lot of need for because of the location it is, the close proximity it is to the airport and the roadway system. So there's a lot of industrial and residential demands in that area. We received, thankfully, fortunately, through the state and Senator Berger's influence, was able to be able to get us a $10 million to go towards the extension of water lines, pump upgrades, an additional water tank, and a lot of water line extensions. We use that money combined with some grant funds to be able to get that. So we're seeing the growth down there. I know that Mr. Carroll is developing down there. One site is the OnTech site, which we needed the water capacity for, and the fire protection. So the well will certainly the tank will do its justice there.
It's been a good year for economic development, right?
Yes, it has. We're so thankful for Lee Cockrell and the economic developers from the cities and for the staff. They've done a great job. I can't say enough about how impressed I am with Lee and what she does with her department. So far this year, we've gotten companies such as Pella, which does, they construct windows. OnTex, they provide adult personal hygiene products. Nestle Purina, which was a huge hit for the old Miller Core facility, and Formina, which they both make dog food, and blow molding and Ruger expansions. So we're really excited about where we've been and where we're going as far as economic development. And just in general, we've seen a lot of demand and a lot of interest in Rockingham County. It's something we haven't seen in a long time. We're certainly excited about opportunities that we have here. The big thing is that, well, we'll talk about it in a few minutes, I guess, but the residential development and industrial growth. So the more you get, obviously, you can diversify your revenue streams. And our goal here is not to be a burden on the taxpayer. So if there's ways that we can entice people to relocate here or interested to locate here, that slowly takes the burden off the individual homeowner.
And that leads to my next question. It's been a great year for community development.
Yes, so with that community development, they presented at the workshop showing a significant increase in homes and development in 2020 and projected for 2021. The number of new homes constructed grew by 27% when we compared it to January to September of 2020 to the same time period the year before. So we went from 136 homes to 173.
Wow.
There's a lot of development upcoming in the upcoming year. We're looking at 445 new lots that have been plotted to be built and several more developments that are being discussed and considered at the time.
That's some building lands.
Yes, it is.
A lot. We often hear people talk about how much they love Free Week and the landfill. There are some other things happening at the landfill. You want to tell us about it?
Yes, we hired a company in the years past, and we recently had a contractor who helped us look at ways we can improve operations at our landfill, and not only operations but equipment as well. So basically, what they did is they evaluated each piece of equipment we had, and typically in the past we've gone through hours as far as when we retire a piece of equipment, but through this company we're able to maximize the use of it, so we can rebuild it instead of putting on auction a piece of equipment. We can rebuild it, we can maneuver it, we can make it last a lot longer and help us with our expenses at the landfill, as well as operations. They've given us ideas and concepts of how we can control it through the GPS as far as the inclines and buy us additional airspace. And also, right now, the state requires you to put in 6 inches of topsoil or soil or dirt on top of the solid waste. We're looking at things like posi shell. So posi shell is about 1 inch thick. So it's kind of like with ice cream, you put the chocolate on top and it freezes. That's what posi shell is. So instead of putting 6 inches every day, you're putting 1 inch in every day. So you're saving the airspace. So our grandchildren or great grandchildren can have a landfill here in Rockingham County, not be dependent on other areas. So yeah, it was just a really good opportunity for us to be able to see and focus on the way we deliver services and be more efficient, more effective with the operations that we have at the landfill.
I think there were some real concerns as we've been going through a tough year with COVID-19. What's going to happen with tax collections? Do you think we were surprised?
Yeah, pleasantly surprised.
Yes.
With COVID, you would have thought that the tax collections would have been down. But as of January 21st, we had a collection rate of 92.28% of the county's overall tax levy, which is 1.19% higher than it was at the same period last year.
Wow.
And it's amazing. I think that number one, our tax department is doing a good job. Number two, I think our citizens are very understanding of what it takes to operate. I think that they're very responsible. I have to admit, in Rockingham County, our citizens are very responsible. I've worked in several other localities, and you can count on them, and that's really good to have. But we do have to we'll have to monitor our trends as far as the sales of our homes, because a reevaluation, we just recently had one, but currently project sales to assess ratio for 21 to be as low as 91% to 93%. This means the tax value on homes is 7 to 9% lower than what they're selling for on the open market. So we got to keep an eye on that. And if it hits 85%, the law requires us to conduct or have a revaluation within 3 years. So we just have to keep an eye on the sales of property and how they're selling.
And the big thing, the bottom line, we know all our ears are open to hear about the financial forecast. What did you hear?
Yeah, health insurance is a big concern. We just had a meeting here earlier today to discuss our health insurance with our consultant. But right now we're projected to have an increase of 30% next year if no action's taken. This is based on the current year's claim to date. So we've got some high claimants, and we've got 1,000 people on our insurance, and of that, we've got maybe 15 to 20 that are high claimants that are causing such a mass growth. So we're trying to get our hands on it. There's different ways we could make the cost or the increase to go down, modifications to the plans, offering different plans, offering an SHA that we're looking into. So there's a lot of different things that we can do. But we are diligently working on trying to make the impact as minimal as possible. Our retiree insurance is expected to increase 15% this year. Our state mandated employer retirement rate is increasing next year from 10.15% to 11.25% of salary for the general employees, and then for law enforcement, it's going to increase from 10.9% to 12.1%. And that just in itself, to give you a dollar figure, that's about a $330,000 impact to our budget. Just in these three areas, we're looking at an additional $2.5 million, which is mostly out of our control. Our EMS revenue is down this current year. So the forecast that our finance department forecast is about a $500,000 loss in this area. And again, we're trying to work on that to figure out what exactly is causing this. Is it COVID? Is it the rescue squads having more convalescent calls? We don't know the answer to that, so we're keeping our eye on that. Sales tax is strong, mostly due to online shopping. And if you can imagine,
yes,
grandma or mom at home that typically goes to the grocery store or goes and gets clothes, they'll go out. And COVID has taught them through their children, hey, you can get online, hop online, order this, order that,
Get what you want.
and get what you want. So
Yes.
I think that's had an impact on our sales tax. I mean, we've been as much as 30-some% higher in a month's time. So, with all the stuff that's going on with the Amazon, Instacart, DoorDash, with Instacart and DoorDash is pretty good because you're able to keep the business here. So, my wife does Instacart, so.
Mhm.
Yeah, they'll enter the information. She'll go to Lowe's, the food line, pick up the food, take it to the house, and it's really great during COVID because you limit the contact. So
And many stores are pushing that too.
yes, they are.
Mhm.
And like I said before, tax collections are stronger this year. Again, we're looking at real estate and motor vehicle taxes. They are really strong. So the revenues in general look pretty healthy despite the pandemic.
Mhm.
The expenditures we're going to have to hit on this year. We're just now starting the budget process for the county, so we will be working with the department heads to say, look, this is still got to be a lean year because we have a lot of unknowns with this pandemic. We're not sure. There's a lot of uncertainty out there, and so we have to be very frugal with the taxpayers' dollars to make sure that we provide the services that they deserve, and at the same time make sure we're responsible for their money.
Capital improvement plans.
The county does have a capital improvement plan. It hasn't had one in the past. We've developed one. My assistant manager, Paul Murray, and I have developed a capital improvement plan. It is a very good and solid capital improvement program. We're going to be presenting that to the board at a work session in the near future. We have many projects that we need to have addressed, and they need to be addressed sooner than later.
Okay. Last but not least, what has been on all of our minds every day and every night, COVID-19. Where do we go from here?
Okay, so now we've had a limited supply of the vaccine that has been given to the county. I think that we've worked with the state, and I think that we're going to start to see a lot more come back in. We've had 2 clinics so far. The first clinic, it was a drive up, first come, first served, and it was challenging. The staff did a great job. The staff did an excellent job. The concept, it wasn't what it needed to be. Now that we went to the appointment process, everybody loves it. It is, and we should have done that. But you learn, you make some mistakes and you learn from those. And that's the first one's not in the playbook. We'll never be back in the playbook again. But the appointment process is easy. We can do 1,000 plus a day through the appointment process. And the folks stay in line maybe 10 minutes and their observation 15 minutes and they're gone. So it's a much easier process. We're looking at ways that once they open up phase 3 and phase 4, which will be a much larger population, we're going to still do it on site. We're going to do it on alternate sites. So we're still evaluating the best way to handle that. But the key is you can have as a perfect logistical setup. But the problem is the amount of vaccines that we're getting. We need the supply of vaccines. The state gets in about 120,000 vaccines a week, and they distribute 84,000 and leave 36 or the rest in for mass events. And so 84,000 doesn't go a long way when you've got 270 plus providers in the state. So hopefully the federal government will put out additional amounts so we can make sure that all of our citizens who want to be vaccinated are vaccinated.
And the senior citizens were just so gracious and
thankful. They're wonderful.
Yes. And we just have to give an A+ to the team that worked hard and to the people who were just so receptive and thankful.
The planning team that worked on this, from public health to emergency management to our administration, did an excellent job. I mean, I could not have seen the way that we operated on Thursday. I couldn't see it operate any better than what we did.
Well, this is the county manager's corner. And why is this important for you to be here talking and explaining all of this behind the scene information?
It's important for the public to understand the day-to-day operations that your tax dollars are going towards. I'm going to try to be on here at least once a month to try to give up updates on what we're doing, how we're doing it. But it's important the citizens know that what's going on in their community, what's going on in their county, and how they can have access to us at any point, any time. Just in general, just to give them an overview of what the what's behind the door, what's behind what we do in government. So, and I'm glad to do that. I want to make sure that we're as transparent as possible, and so the citizens will get a great bang for their buck when they get an opportunity to listen to what's going on.
It's all about transparency. You heard what he just said. He's going to be around every month. So look forward to seeing the County Manager's Corner featuring Rockingham County Manager Lance Metzler. Thank you for all you do to support Rockingham County government. You're in a good place.